True purpose is taking all of those gifts and talents and attributes that you have and putting them into a really solid plan of action that makes a big difference and a big impact. This week on the Rutledge Perspective, as we enter the second month of the quarter, we're going to be talking about vision. But the way I want to talk about vision is this idea of passion versus purpose, what you're spending your energy on, what you're doing in terms of deciding where you want to show up and how you want to show up and what you want to do with your resources, right? Time, energy, and money. So there've been a couple of conversations that have happened over the last few weeks that I realized at about 2 o'clock this morning, all kind of converged on this one message. The first conversation I was having with my priest about a bunch of other things. And we started talking about education and teaching and all of these things. And she said, as we were talking about this from a political perspective, she said, I wonder, why do you think that teachers don't get paid as much? And I thought, okay, let me just breathe. But here's my opinion, right? My opinion around why teachers don't get paid as much as they should get paid is because they lead with passion, right? And not with purpose or expertise. Because people don't pay for your passion, but they will pay for things that are purposeful and solve a problem for them and are a solution for them. Purposeful, not passionate, because everybody's passion is different. And we got a little bit deeper into the conversation. And I said, and the other part of that is because it's been such this amazing, passion driven, heart driven profession, that has led instead of profession or professionalism leading. There's a reason that accountants get paid as much as they get paid because it's become a profession, right? And I got to tell you, accounting is basic math. As an undergrad in accounting is basic math. Now, if you want to do taxes and you're doing heavier finance, and absolutely, there's some more expertise, but just accounting, that's basic plus and minus. But because we go through a certification and they get a CPA and they do all of these things, it's now a profession. And so it garners a level of respect or value based on the way that the profession has positioned itself. So that was the first conversation that happened. The next thing that happened is I was in a coaching conversation for the certification that I'm taking. And I was one of the ones that was practicing. So I was coaching and I was coaching someone else who is building a business. And this particular coaching circle, they asked us, let's talk about a real thing that you're dealing with, right? Let's not make up anything. Let's really talk about a real issue. And this woman that I was practicing with was so wonderful and so vulnerable about what was going on in her business and what she wanted to do. And there were a couple of things that really drove her. And one of the questions I asked her was, if you think about the vision you have for what you want to do, what comes up? Well, it was the opposite of what she had now been spending all of her energy, time, money, resources, all of these things about what she wanted to do. And we go through the process, about a 10-minute practice, right? We go through the process and finally I get to the end and it turns out the thing that she's been spending her money on really is what she wants to do. There's just a lot of fear around it. And so our leader of this certification program came back and she said, one of the things I talk to people about is this passion versus purpose. And I thought, well, this is interesting because this is the second time that this has come up in a while. She said, passion, yes, that's the thing that you're excited about. It lights you up, all of those things. But purpose is that place where you are in solution mode. You are doing things that are transformative. Your passion may not be transformative to anybody but you, but purpose-led work is transformative for others. Now you get joy out of it, right? It's something that you are excited about, you're good at, it's in your genius zone, but it is about transformation and making changes for others and impacting others and all of these things. It's deeper than just passion because passion can be individual. Passion can be just about you. True purpose is taking all of those gifts and talents and attributes that you have and putting them into a really solid plan of action that makes a big difference and a big impact. That's kind of how she talked about passion versus purpose. And it got me to thinking, for all of you that are listening to this podcast, that are leading teams or building businesses in leadership roles or leading through your behavior, are you asking yourself the question? Because again, this is the second month of the quarter, so let's talk about vision. Are you asking yourself the question, what do I want? What am I being driven to do? What do my innate skills and capabilities, my genius zones, what does that lead me to do? Those places where I am in the zone when I'm doing it, it is so natural to me. It is solution providing for others. It solves a problem. And I actually really love it. Are you there in that space? Or are you in a space that's just, you know what? I'm just doing this for right now. I'm just doing this for right now. Now, that's not necessarily a bad space to be in at all, because we got to do what we got to do till we do what we want to do. My challenge to you in this month is, have you really gone back and thought about what the vision is you have for your business, for your career, for your life? And is what you're doing now on the path to that or not? Are you intentionally doing the work that you're doing right now? Or has it just become a habit of showing up and executing? Are you taking the time to really get to know who you are and how that aligns with the vision that you have, and being intentional about where you're spending your time, money, and resources? And for this person that I was coaching, and for anyone who's built a business, especially from ground zero, we all get there. There's many of us who are multi-passionate. So many things we want to do, so many people we want to serve. We can just do all the things. And you know what? We want to do all the things because, we can see the value of all the things. But are all the things really the best use of our time, energy, resources? Are all the things really utilizing all of our skills and capabilities and expertise to deliver excellent solutions? Solutions that are transformative for people and solutions that people will pay for. Solutions that will have people coming to you. If you're within an organization, do they come to you because they know you're going to provide a solution? They know you're going to be responsive. They know you are going to understand the business, their situation, the problem at hand, take all of that stuff into consideration and deliver or walk them through possibilities for results. Are you creating a vision for who and where and what you want to be, so that when you get ready to take action, you know it is aligned with that? Are you intentionally sitting in where you are and understanding how that is placed with your vision of what you want? It could be that you are intentionally doing what you're doing now because you see the path to something else. It could be that you're intentionally doing what you're doing now because, you know what? I've got so much other stuff going on. And at least this is the enemy I know. I don't really have to think about this right now because I've got energy and all kinds of concentration that needs to be focused elsewhere. And so I need this thing to just be easy. And hear me, that is a choice. That is a valid choice. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for doing something or staying somewhere that you need to stay in this moment because you got other stuff that's more important. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You do what you need to do for you so that you can then serve your family, your friends, your clients, whatever your thing is. Sometimes that means you got to sit still in what you got right now. Are you in this space, in this moment, just trying to figure it out. And you don't know what you want to do. You don't know where you want to be. You don't know what's going to happen. That happens to many of us too, right? Where we get in that total freeze mode. We just don't know what to do. If you're in that place, I would challenge you to do this. One, give yourself some grace. We all have that period of time where we just have no idea. We're just doing the best we can with what we got at the moment. Give yourself some grace. And then give yourself the opportunity to pause and get still and to think and feel, what vision do I have? What do I want? Is this aligned with that or not? And really sit with those questions and listen to and feel those answers so that you are intentional in the next thing that you do. You're not just letting things happen to you. You are an active participant in the life that you are trying to create, in the life that you are living, and the service that you are giving to others. You are intentionally spending your time doing things that matter. Or you're intentionally spending your time in rest, like the book, Rest is Resistance, right? You're intentionally spending your time doing what needs to be done to get where you need to get so that you can be who you are meant to be. It's all a journey. It's all a journey. And yet, we sometimes think about what we're doing and where we're doing, and we get all caught up in the thing that's the shiny toy and that we're really, really excited about and we're so passionate about. And we aren't as focused on where our passion fits our purpose or where they're just different. I have a real, true, deep passion for stellar K through 12 education. I will be building this $100 million foundation. I may be 85 by the time I build it, but I'm building it. And I am so passionate about that because I see the impact of quality and less than quality education on students and therefore on our future, all of our future. I see the impact of not educating people on the true history of this country. What's going on in Florida is ridiculous, right? I see the impact of phenomenal teachers who see the gifts in students that everybody else has written off. And every child, regardless of socioeconomic status, race, creed, color, any of that, where they live, who their parents were, none of that, regardless of any of that, they deserve a stellar public education, K through 12. And then they can decide. They have skills. They can decide what they want to do after that, whether college is the thing for them or not, whether a trade is the thing for them or not, whether JUCO is the same thing for them or not, whether professional sports or acting, whatever the thing is. But they have skills and capabilities and knowledge and confidence to pursue whatever it is they want to pursue. So I'm passionate about that. But my purpose where I am making an impact that is bigger, even than this foundation I want to build, that is bigger in this moment, is this work that I do with founders, 7-figure women founders who are now at that point where they got to move from founder to CEO, where they have got to take the reins of the business they are trying to build. They have got to move from, we want everybody to be like family, to, you know what, this is not a family, this is a business. And I'm going to be compassionate and I'm going to create a place where you feel valued and safe. And I'm going to run a business. So I'm going to set clear expectations. I'm going to hold you and me to them. I am purposeful in using the skills and attributes and expertise that I have developed through a career that I couldn't have planned, right? Accounting, auditing, risk management, consulting, manufacturing, all the things, HR. I could not have planned this trajectory if I'd really wanted to. And yet, it is the craziness of my career that makes me exceptional at what I do. And that gives me this ability to support this group of people with such an incredible impact because I know that when I can help them move from founder to CEO, they make an impact on all the people that are in their businesses. They make an impact on their communities, they make an impact on their families, and that just spreads. And pretty soon, everyone that they've touched, all of those people are making an impact in their communities, in their families, with their children, right? It's that exponential multiplier. It's that ability to do one to many through one on one. And that is where, right? I am truly target aligned. And so I was always practicing this in my certification and listening to this coach talk about passion versus purpose. It hit me that we get caught up in that a lot. We get caught up in that a lot, that we want to turn our passion into our purpose. We want to turn our passion into our business. And sometimes that works, right? The very few things are all or nothing. Sometimes that passion project really does turn into that business. It is something that you're truly passionate about. And I would argue that when you turn your passion into a business, that move from founder to CEO is actually harder because you're so passionate about the thing that your ability to let go and hire team and build others and just do the visioning and do the leading is much more difficult because you're so tied to the thing because you're so passionate about it. I would argue that transition can be much more difficult when you turn your passion into your purpose if it's not really meant to be and not really aligned, right? But in this month of really getting clear on our vision, right? I want you to take August and really take this time. We got, several more months left in this year. 5 more months left in the year, which is awesome. And this is a great time. Summer's done. Regroup. What have you done this first part of the year? Is everything that you're doing now aligned with the vision that you have for where you want to go? Do you need to tweak your vision a little bit because now you got information from these first 7 months of the year and you can inform what you're going to do for the rest of the year? And by the way, don't beat yourself up and start being down on yourself around the resources that you've already expended: time, money, energy. And yes, I'm talking to me too, right? Don't beat yourself up. Be mindful of where you're spending your resources and then go back and say, what did I learn from that? What can I take from that? Am I taking that? Yep, this is actually where I should have been spending all of my resources. Or, ooh, I probably shouldn't have done that, but here's what I gleaned from that. And now I'm going to do this thing different. We either win or we learn. It's not about failure. There's information, there's data in everything that you do. In the response and the outcomes of everything that you do, there's data and information and learning in that. So take that. Have I been just focused on my passion project, which may or may not be something that builds the business that I want to build or builds the career that I want to build? Am I intentionally putting things in the right category and in the right place? If my passion thing is really the thing, am I utilizing that day job as my funder for the passion thing? Am I allowing that day job to fulfill me in a way that makes sense so that I can continue to support myself, but it leaves me enough energy to do the passion thing? Is my side hustle my real purpose? And my day job is the thing that's just funding that until I'm done. And everything in between. Is the department I'm in now something I really love? Or am I moving through departments, moving across organizations so that I can build this toolbox to get to ultimately where I want to be? Because I want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And by doing all of these things, this gives me direct insight and experience in all the pieces that I feel are strategically important to getting to that vision I have for my career. Passion versus purpose. Am I being intentional about where I'm using my resources? Am I being intentional about my time, energy, and money? And if not, how can I pause, give myself some grace, some understanding, gather some information, and then move forward with intent against the vision that I have reset, reframed, reinvigorated, right? Reconfirmed for myself. Think about that this week. Passion versus purpose. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that. It was really enlightening to me to hear a few other people's opinions on passion versus purpose and what that means going forward. Have a fantastic week. There's going to be some more announcements coming up. So follow me. You can find me on laurelrutledge.com, all things Laurel on laurelrutledge.com. You can also follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. And please, if this made sense to you, if you were touched by this, send me a note, pass it on to someone, and go out to your favorite podcast platform. Give us a 5-star review and let us know that you're listening. As always, I appreciate every listen, every download, all the things. You guys are fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And I thank you so much for being a part of my village. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye. You have been listening to the Rutledge Perspective podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and for connecting. You can find previous episodes of the podcast on my website at laurelrutledge.com/podcast. You can also find me on social media at Laurel K. Rutledge and or the Rutledge Perspective. And I'd love your perspective on the things we talk about. And if there's a specific topic you want me to cover, just let me know. And please share this podcast with someone in your village who may need this little piece of perspective today. And if you're so inclined, I would really appreciate a 5-star rating and review on the platform of your choice. Apple Podcasts and Spotify reviews are particularly helpful. Thank you again for listening. Take care.